Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner. And I'm here with a box. And in the box, I don't know, you probably can guess. Yeah, it's a knife. And yeah, I was supposed to not be buying knives. That's what this whole Faulkner 5 thing is. But, uh, I kind of knew going into it that there would be a few slip ups here and there. And, it's the way things go. Why get upset about it? Anyway, here we go. We got this box, and it is a company that I've had a knife from before, and I liked it a lot. I'll show it to you in a minute. But this new one came out, and so I thought I'd check it out. It's from a company called Utectic. Utectic. And if you're not familiar with who this is, it's a budget brand from a knife designer that is got some really awesome knives in the premium range. But the Utectic is a budget version from Leon Ma. And this one is the EFD. EFD stands for Everyday Field Duty. Everyday Field Duty. So if you're familiar with the Field Duty, this is a budget version. It's got 14C28N steel, G10 handles, some of that basic stuff that you see a lot in budget knives, and it's good quality stuff for budget knives. A lot of people are pretty happy with 14C28N on their budget knives. So it comes out of the box with this pouch. Pretty standard stuff. Cool logo there, the E for Utectic. And there's the card. If you want to check that out, the mod design. So, I like to go to the shows. You know that I'm kind of getting ready to do this next Blade show, if they ever put those tickets on sale. And and almost always in the shows. In fact, maybe probably other than the California Custom Knife Show, I've seen Leon Ma with a booth. And this goes back to 3 years ago. I've been to Blade Show West 3 times. 3 years ago was the first time I ever met him, and I was looking at his stuff, and he had all his great knives out, and certainly back then it was above my pay, range. We're talking. I think back then he might have had some stuff in the $300 range, but now it's more like $400, $500 range in general. He tends to get his stuff. I believe all of his premium stuff is made by Riot, and very good quality, and his designs are really good. So anyway, I was looking at the table, and he had some over there that looked totally different than everything else, and I asked him about it. I said, well, this is the budget knives that I'm coming out with, and it looks something like this. Now, this is a newer model, but I'm going to show you the one that I originally bought from him. That first year, he didn't have them on sale yet, but he was showing them off, and you can kind of see it's got G10. It's got some good texture there. If I can catch the light just right, definitely that good texture. I was talking about that with some of the budget knives in the Faulkner 5 I was working on. Just like that really good. Kubi has it. Spyderco has it. You get that really good G10. Not only that, a lot of times when you're buying budget knives, when I say budget, this one isn't in that $0 to $50 range. This is $0 to $100. This one was $85. But when you get a lot of these budget knives, you feel the corners on the G10, and you get that sharpness. But this really, and even on the inside, if you kind of push your finger into that inside, it's all rounded off. It feels so good in the hand. I mean, really for a budget knife, you gotta keep in mind that you're talking about, $85 knife. But for a budget knife, this has a really great design, a great feel to it. It's got that hole for deployment, and if you can hear that snap, it's got a great detent. It's got a great snap out, and the middle finger flick deployment is really good with that. The thumb doesn't really work so well for me, but I'm not as big of a thumb flicker as much as a middle finger flicker, so I'm happy with it. Coating looks really nice. It's all blacked out. Jimping on here is really good. You got that forward finger choil. I guess Leon Ma is really, I'm not an expert on his knives, but he's known for that forward finger choil. I believe the Field Duty has that. It's got that blade shape similar to the Field Duty. It's not quite as thick. It's more of what you'd expect for a budget knife. It does have a reversible pocket clip. It's inset, so it's inset. Doesn't have a filler tab. So some of the stuff is kind of bare bones, but when everything that's here is good quality. Like the screws are rounded off, so they're not going to catch on it. Nice deep carry pocket clip. Yeah, all really nice. He's got that symbol on the pivot. Looks good, and it's got a good feel, good size. I like this. You know me, I'm into the bigger knives, so we're gonna get out the ruler. Check this out. So we're talking about 3-inch blade length, but you get that additional 1/2 inch on the actual blade itself, not the sharpened edge, but the blade. So it's really like a 3.5 inch long, and you have that forward choke up spot. Overall length, we're looking at about 8 inches. So it's right in that size that I like, especially for the handle in both grips. You get your whole hand on there, and that forward feels really good with the jimping. It locks in really good. I like a blacked out. I was kind of thinking, you got multiple colors that comes in. I decided to go with the blacked out on this one. That looked really good. So that first year when I saw the Eutectic knife, it was his first one that came out, and that was the Trinity. And I bought this one at my second Blade Show West, 2 years ago, and that is the Trinity. Also a nice one. I don't know, or I'm not aware of, that he has a Trinity knife. That's a premium one. This is very cool as well. You can see similar, but it's even a longer blade. The handle is about the same length, but the blade length on this one, let's move this down. So we're looking about 3 1/4 sharpened edge and 3 3/4 on the blade, including that generous finger choil. The holes are very similar. So we're just keeping it to basic stuff, but it's basic quality stuff. Another thing I like about both these knives, so this one here has a little flipper on the back. Not a big fan of flippers, but it's always good to have. But it has this like little mohawky kind of front flipper. I was noticing some on this. I'm going to see if I can. So the flipper kind of gets in the way if you're trying to do that front flip. If you've noticed that before. If it's not like one of those ones that kind of like is flush here and just kind of squared off, like you see on the Cormorant or that's the Fosty one that's so fidgety. But yeah, when it's like this, if you're trying to front flip it, it can get in the way if you're not careful about your hand position. But on this new one, on the Field Duty, he chose to leave the flipper off, and I think that was a really great idea. So you see there's no back flipper at all. You got that front flipper, it's going to work great. You can also get it from up here and roll it over. It just goes. I mean, I'm not great with front flippers. I'm not bad with them, but I'm not great with them. But it really goes. And one other thing that I've never really been good at all at is doing this kind of motion. And I was doing so much better before it was on the camera, of course. But that top, that over the top thing, I can actually do it pretty well. Better than any other knife that I've ever owned. So it was really good. And then the index is not something that's so easy, and now I'm able to do it. You can do it when you come down on this side and catch the jimps down here, but it's not so much from the top that you can get it, but you can get it if you go all the way across. So you're getting all those different front flipper type of deployments. I don't know if I can really, yeah, I can get it with this one too. Both of these are very similar. I mean, the handle on this one's a little taller, so when you're gripping it, it fills the hand a little bit more. This one's kind of narrow. Still good. I always liked it. But now that I'm kind of feeling this one, I kind of like that taller handle. It really fills the hand just a little bit better. I like them both, definitely. This one's a little taller, so that flat on the, it's a full flat coming down. It's not the thinnest behind the edge, not like you normally get a Spyderco. I think what I'm going to do on this one is maybe drop the angle back a little bit on the edge to get a little bit slicier. I think that'll make some improvement to it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I can't really think of much other than the fact that some of it is, if you want to compare it to some of the fancier stuff. Let's see what I got here. Some of the fancier stuff, it looks plain next to. But it's still a really good knife. I mean, for the price, and if you just want something that it's going to cut, that you're going to be able to fidget with, it's not something like here. You're not going to compare it to a $300+ knife. It's just not, it's not in that category as far as the looks and as far as the fanciness and all that kind of thing. But as far as being a knife that'll cut, it's definitely got that ability. So I would definitely recommend it. I do like it a lot. It's fun to carry. It's fun to it's got such a good feel in hand and a good feel for the fidget. That's got a great feel. So eutectic knives, I think people kind of sleep on it a little bit. I haven't seen a lot of videos out there. I was kind of looking. There are a few. But a lot of times when I'll put it in a pocket check, say on a live, people just don't seem to recognize the name. And maybe that's because I don't know. Maybe he doesn't send them out to as many channels or something. But it's still a really good knife. And if you've always wanted to get a Leon Mod knife but couldn't afford that high price, this is a way to do it. And it might be a gateway, especially for me, because I'm really enjoying these knives so much. Maybe at Blade Show this year, I'll be going to Leon's table and picking up one of his higher end knives. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it. One new knife since I've been trying to not buy. I'm sure there'll be more, but I'm still going to do my best. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.